this is the 10th episode of Al Sol y Punto, which is a little podcast where I come to talk about knitting, natural dyeing, herbalism. Normally at the end of each episode I like to highlight one of my favorite plants, although it's very difficult to choose, but I like to talk about one of them each episode. And yes, I am a New Yorker living and knitting in the south of Spain. I live in Granada, and I typically hike up to these mountains around the city and record an episode in both Spanish and English. So that's why I normally record the videos in segments, because I will do a little bit in English and then I'll do a little bit in Spanish, then a little bit in English, and this way I don't forget anything. So today I want to talk to you about a few things. One, my newest cast off, the Jupiter shawl. I would also like to talk about my newest cast on, which is in this bag that also my dog has just kicked dirt all over. That's okay, we like our knitting up in the countryside, it's fine. I'll also talk about the Knit 3 Words challenge, and at the end I will share a little bit about violet, which I think is a really special plant which is blooming around here and might be blooming where you are. So let's go. Okay, so I am trying to be a little bit more relaxed, sitting here drinking some tea, because I was talking with the dear Zsofía of the Berke Creations podcast, and she was suggesting that maybe I could sit down and relax. I know that my videos are always a little bit like me really excited talking about everything, but today I'm going to try and be a little bit slower, because I know that most of you are probably sitting and knitting or crocheting or weaving or something that is a very relaxing thing, and if I'm up here on top of a mountain talking really fast about things, maybe that's not the best. So Zsofía, thank you for that suggestion, and if you all have not seen Zsofía's podcast, I highly recommend it, Berke Creations. I'll leave the information down below, and you could see her life in Transylvania. Also, I have an interview with her on my channel, because I also on this channel I do interviews with different people who inspire me, who are doing different things creatively in the fiber world or not, and just like to have conversations with people and share those. So go check out Zsofía, and yeah, let's get to the knitting. Okay, so first we have the Shawl Jupiter, as you say in Spanish, and this is a design by the lovely Marianela Gallo. Okay, and so I will show you the finished product. It is a triangular shawl, which you can see it's quite, yep, I definitely snagged it on a tree as I was coming up here. I'll fix that later, no problem. But it is a triangular shawl. The pattern is written so that you can use 2 alternating colors or just one solid. I chose one solid, and this was a beautiful skein dyed for me by Tintica. It is a sport weight yarn, and this was naturally dyed using, I think she used indigo and black beans and cochineal and lots of speckles and beautiful things, and it's really fun. And the best part about this shawl is that we knit this together in a knit along. So it was really fun because I opened up an Instagram group where we were chatting throughout the week, and then once a week we would have a Zoom knit night, and so we would all be knitting our Jupiter or whatever. Honestly, there were nights where I was knitting on a pair of socks or something, because if you're just starting the lace round, maybe you could mess up if you're talking with people, but honestly, this pattern was super easy to memorize. So many of us in the group finished. I mean, I took probably about 4 weeks because I was knitting on other things as well, but there were a lot of people in the group who finished in a week. So this is a really nice pattern if you want to make a quick shawl. It uses 2 skeins of sport weight yarn. This is merino superwash, and sport weight is a weight of yarn that is 300 meters per 100 grams, so it's a little bit thicker than a fingering weight, and it's really nice because it's super squishy. I don't know, I think what makes it so squishy is that Marianela had us knit this, I think, on a 4.5 millimeter needle, which I typically knit the sport weight on a much smaller needle. I'm not sure, maybe a 3.5 or even a 3 sometimes, because I'm quite a loose knitter. But I said, no, I'm gonna do what Marianela says in the pattern, and I knit it on a much bigger needle than I would have chosen myself. But I love that because it is a shawl and you want it to be drapey and beautiful. And it's also squishy because it has like garter, which is really nice. It also has these short rows, which are super fun because it makes the triangle longer. And I love it. I had just finished my Razón Poética, which I debuted in the previous episode, which is another triangular shawl. And I was thinking, oh, do I really need 2 triangle shawls? But this one was knit with 2 skeins, and the other one, using the same yarn, different colors, was like 4.5 or 5 skeins. So this one is a lot smaller, and it's perfect for like going into spring, and I love it. Actually, I totally added a few extra rows because I was like, what am I gonna do with this little ball that's left over? So I just kind of kept going, and then I realized that I had a tiny little ball left, and I was like, oh no, will I have enough to bind off? And actually, I didn't. I started doing the Icelandic bind off, and I got to about here. Actually, I think I can see right here where I change. And I didn't have any more yarn, so I was like, oh no, but good thing I have lots of Tintiga sport weight in my home, and I was able to make a magic knot thing, one of those knots that go like this, and attach another strand of yarn. And because it's the Icelandic bind off, you can't even tell. I mean, I chose a very similar color. I don't think you can really see here. Nope, can't even tell. Because with the Icelandic bind off, I don't know if this would have happened with another type of bind off, but with the Icelandic bind off, I feel like you're using the stitches that are already, like the live stitches on the needle, and so the string that you're adding, you don't really see it. It kind of gets lost inside of it, and I love the Icelandic bind off. I feel like it is a bind off that mirrors the German twisted cast on, and it's kind of like round and like a bubbly, and it's stretchy. It's good for like socks or hats or whatever. And yeah, super happy with it. I love the color. I think that you can't really appreciate the color in the camera. I actually saw Marianela, the designer, for a cup of coffee the other day, because she's from my city. We're friends in real life. And yeah, she brought hers, and it was really nice. But she said, wow, I'm so surprised at like the color. It's more green in person than I imagined. But with the natural dyes, that's what happens. I mean, with any dyes, I think that they look different on screen than they do in person. You know, typical Nicole fashion, I did make a mistake, and I just kept going. Because you know what? I bet you can't even tell. Definitely not. Let me see if I can show you. And we've got dog hairs. So in these little things, which are kind of like baubles, and excuse my nails, they're a little bit dirty. So these are like little baubles, and the end point, what I did was the like purl 3 together on the wrong side. I think I did it on the right side or on the wrong side, and I should have done it on the right side. And then down here I did it correctly, but in the grand scheme of things, you cannot tell. So that's my Jupiter shawl, and I love it, and I loved the experience. We had people from all over. We had people from Australia, from England, from Chile, from Spain, taking part in the knit along, and it was really fun. We did a giveaway at the end, so the last day we did like a Zoom drawing, and there were stitch markers that were won, the ones that I make, and there was a skein of yarn, which I was planning to use a skein of Tintica yarn from here in Spain, but then I thought, uh-oh, what if someone from another country wins? I don't know if I can, I guess I probably could send a skein of yarn, but I was looking for local dyers in all of the countries of the participants just in case, and I found this wonderful dyer in Chile. We had a bunch of people from Chile, so I thought there's a high probability that someone from Chile might win. And yes, Marianela, actually another Marianela from Chile, was the winner, and I was able to gift her a skein of Corralito yarn. So I will put that up here so that you can all see the beautiful skein of yarn by Corralito yarns. And yes, so lovely experience. I will organize some knit-alongs again in the future. So if you missed out on this one, it ended up being only in Spanish. But I hope that in the future, we'll also get a group in English to knit together and do some pattern or something fun, because I like having those like Zoom meetups. Okay. Okay, so living in this project bag, which also has kicked dirt all over, I have my newest project, which I'm so excited about. I love it. This is a pattern by by Vive, which is a Japanese designer. And I talked about this probably in the episode where I naturally dyed my Tecumseh sweater a few episodes back. I talked about wanting to knit this cardigan. And when I finished my Razón Poética, and I finished my Jupiter and my cake leggings, which are finished, and I shall talk to you about that at some point. The thing is, I can't really hike up the mountain in them until I fix them, because they have grown so much. They're so comfortable and so awesome, but they totally fall down because they weigh 800 grams. But I love them. I love them for around the house, but not for hiking up the mountain. So I gotta see how I can show you all. Maybe I'll just record a video at home. Anyway, so this is my Noki sweater. I don't know if you can see that. Cardigan. And it is so fun to knit. And I was like really scared because if you look here at these charts, I don't want to give too much away, but you're like, what? But it is so easy to memorize. So I'm knitting this with, you guessed it, Tintica yarn. I know, Marianela said that I knit with all the same colors. I need to like knit something in bright pink soon. I don't know, or something. But yes, so this is naturally dyed DK weight from Tintica, and I am just like so obsessed at how squishy it is. And this pattern is so fun. I think I talked about this in a previous episode about how when I went to the New Jersey Sheep and Wool Festival, I saw a sample pattern by this designer, which the designer says Rie Vive, which means laugh and live in Spanish. And I was like, wow, and I found out she's a Japanese designer, so I need to find out about that. But it was another pattern, totally another pattern, but I loved it so much, and then I kept remembering the name, and so I looked her up on Ravelry and I saw all of her amazing patterns, and this is the one that I decided on. So let me show you. I only really just cast on, but it's really cool because you have these moss stitch cables happening here, and actually what will happen there is that it can be, you don't have to, but it will be folded over and sewn in on this part of the jacket or sweater. And then you have this really squishy ribbing, which is really fun because it like moves, you know, like it goes like that way. And then across the back panel, I have my little cake stitch marker. And then you can see here how it like opens up, and then across the back. And yes, it's knit flat. And you can see then over on this side again we have the cables, and it is just so deliciously squishy and lovely and easy to memorize and so fun. I was like really nervous about it, but now it's kind of like my mindless knit, which is really nice. And yeah, what else can I say about it? I hope to make some progress on it and show it to you soon. But yeah, this is the bottom of the sweater. It is a one size only pattern. As you can see, it is like very oversized. And I'm pretty sure the pattern calls for worsted. I could find out, couldn't I? Worsted weight. I am using, so worsted, I don't know what DK is. I'm using DK, which is thinner than worsted, I think. I don't know. I only knit with fingering in sports, so that was one of the things I wanted to do this year. I wanted to knit with thicker yarn so that I can knit faster. Not faster, but like not take 6 months to knit a project. Like kind of, I don't know, have more instant gratification, I guess that's what it's called. And so this is very oversized. So I'm thinking that with my DK weight, it's going to be a little bit tighter, but it is one size. So there's only one size. You just cast on the number of stitches and go. So I didn't even bother to do a gauge swatch or anything because I was like, I'm not going to try and change the pattern. And because it's a cardigan, like even if it ends up being like a short little cropped cardigan, I mean, cropped, I can make it as long as I want. I have lots of yarn, and I know who has more of this yarn in case I need any. So I think it'll be okay. And I mean, worst comes to worst, if it's really short, I've seen a lot of project pages where they leave the cable bands open, so you have double cables here rather than the folded one. But I think the folded one and sewn in is really a cool idea. So yeah, so I'm loving it. It's super squishy. I love the yarn, the Tintika yarn. I love the pattern. Look at that. I love it. So that's my newest cast on. So here we are, a different time, a different place, and a different outfit. I wanted to talk about a few more things from February and fiber related goodness. First of all, I've got my Razón Poética shawl, which I'm trying to get lots of use out of before the springtime arrives. And I'm also wearing my Robledal sweater by Marianela Gallo, which has this beautiful little heart, which I normally wear in the back because it's a reversible raglan sweater. It's actually meant to be short sleeves, but because I knit it in sport weight merino, I thought I'm going to make it 3/4 sleeves, and I think it'll be more useful. But yes, I love this, and I feel like the heart in her pattern was actually designed because she wanted to like give reference to the fiber community and all of the love and sharing and support. And that brings me to my ring, which I'm so excited about. Okay, so let me tell you that in February I signed up for a class, a knitting class online, which is really the first time I've ever taken part in a fiber related course. And I was a little bit concerned because I thought online, I don't know, but I was so pleasantly surprised. So Christy Glass organizes an event. It's a monthly event now, and it's called Knit and Escape. And it is so much fun. I signed up for the course with Sosu Knits, and Suzanne Summer, and her class was called Brioche Adventures because after I did my Razón Poética, I wanted to use brioche for a pattern and creation that I'm working on kind of in secret now because it's part of a maker swap that will be revealed in May. So wait for that. That'll be coming soon, but I'm working on it and I learned so much in the class. We talked about cables, brioche short rows, brioche syncopated brioche. So like how you can move the brioche and make it, I don't know, different. Very interesting course. It was on Zoom, like the rest of the Knit and Escape weekend. And so when you sign up for a class, you are granted access to all of these other free events and demos and trivia giveaway sessions. So in the first trivia giveaway session, Christy was there, and of course Christy is awesome and super. She plays like music in the beginning and everything is just so fun. And I won the ring giveaway by Asia Ingalls. And so she is a jewelry designer from my city, New York, and she actually did a demo. So I watched how she makes these rings out of silver. They're also available in gold and they're super beautiful, or in bronze, and I am just so happy. And so I won this ring and she sent it all the way here to Spain. And I just feel really special. It's now the Heart Ring Club because Christy has one of these rings and a lot of other people in the fiber world have these rings because Asia Ingalls typically sells her jewelry in fiber festivals. So that was really amazing that I was able to win this ring. Yeah, so I highly recommend Knit and Escape if there's any. I mean, Knit and Escape now for March I think is already being offered, and I'm not sure who's teaching, but she has amazing teachers now because of Zoom time and everything. There are teachers from all over the world and people from all over the world in the classes, and honestly I learned so much and I won the giveaway. So really, really exciting. Would definitely do it again and highly recommend it to anyone. It was like a really fun weekend. What else? Ooh, also speaking of jewelry design, I wanted to mention these earrings. I'm always wearing earrings by this Portuguese jewelry designer. Her handle is Gochi Garden or Gochi Designs, and she was actually the person who inspired me to start working with semi-precious stones and making my stitch markers. But I got these earrings for myself a few Februaries ago. It was like an auto Valentine's Day gift, and they are rose quartz and aquamarine, I believe, and I love them. I think they're really pretty. I have another pair of earrings by her as well. Super fan, so I'll leave her information down below. And yes, okay, more things. Okay, so I also would like to speak about the Knit 3 Words Challenge. So on Sunday night there was a live, and the people from Merino Feroz, Marta and Miguel, and Antonio from Beagle Knits drew out the words at random from the 3 categories, and we now have words. So without any further ado, I will tell you the words because they made us wait for like almost an hour. We were all there in the chat like, come on, pick the word already. We're all so excited. So the words are way to dye yarn, solid. For me, I was like, seriously, that's so boring, because there were suggestions like dyed with kitchen scraps, or dyed by a friend, or dyed by yourself, or dyed with magic, and things like that, which I thought were a little bit more interesting. But having that as solid, I feel like that's like the wild card. Like, it's easy, you don't have to even worry about that in the challenge. the mythology that was chosen was fawn. I did not know what a fawn was, so I had to look that up, and apparently it is the mythological creature that is half goat on the bottom and then man on top. And people in the chat were talking about Pan's Labyrinth, and then I thought that was like the movie Labyrinth, which, Chevy, I'm so sorry, I've never seen Labyrinth. Is that insane? I need to watch it because apparently there's a fawn in Labyrinth. And Pan's Labyrinth is another movie that's actually made here in Spain. So I need to see both of those and learn more about the fawn, because I don't even know about this mythical creature. And then the word chosen from mythology was lightning. So solid, fawn, lightning, and using those three words to come up with a knit or crochet design. It could be anything. They were talking in the chat of making like an amigurumi of like a fawn character. Could be. So I was trying to think, and I was thinking about what the fawn looks like. This like goat man on the bottom, human on top. And my first idea, I don't know if it's the best idea, but I kind of love it. But my boyfriend and I always talk about how you have to find like 10 ideas and pick the best one. But I kind of like this one, but it's my first idea. So my first idea, I knit those pants this year. So what about some solid color, brown, cashmere, goat pants? And that's like a fawn, no? Like if I had like pants on the bottom. Okay, so I was also thinking, I don't know if you've seen Caddy Jack's podcast, but Jackie made this like coat that has all this fringe coming out of it. So I was imagining these like brown pants with all this fringe coming out of it, like goat legs. And then I was like, oof, that is not going to be flattering. Like when I wear my cake leggings, like the first day I was like, ooh, these are not flattering at all. But now I'm very comfortable in them and I love them. But I was like, how could I, first of all, having a solid color, maybe like a dark brown chocolatey color would be nice. Ooh, there's someone there and I'm talking to my camera. Yeah, and that someone had a dog, but that's okay. So now Oso's like, what's going on? There are people up here in the mountain. We're not alone. Anyway, so I was imagining these like fringed brown chocolatey goat pants, fawn pants. And then I was thinking how they're not flattering. What's it been? And then the phrase came to me of thunder thighs. And I thought, thunder thighs? And then the other word is lightning. What if I made lightning thighs? So lightning thighs as a pant design. I don't know. It's a little bit crazy. I'm still thinking about it. But I think it might be kind of cool. And I want them. Like I want some brown goat fiber pants. Because now I want all the pants. So it's a possibility. But what I would like to know, and this is, I'm asking you all, is what would be a fiber that is like thick, maybe like DK, worsted, Aran weight around there, but is really, really light. I don't know if you know drops air, but like in my head when I was making my cake leggings, which weigh 800 grams, I thought I need to get like a thick, really, really light yarn. And drops air is that type of yarn that is like a straw that's filled with like fluff. And so it's really, really light. What is like the spun fiber or like unspun fiber that would weigh the least and be the thickest? I don't know. I feel like I've heard podcasters talk about this, like maybe worsted, spun, or I don't even know. I don't know. So I'm asking you, what would be a fiber that weighs very little but is thick? Because that's what I want. And I would also like it to have some kind of goat fiber, but I could also add like a mohair strand, so that's not a big deal. And also if you know any people who have a fiber like this, especially in like a natural color, like I would love to have like a natural brown color. I think that would be really cool. Solid. It has to be solid. Hi, Oso. And I thought that I could incorporate also the lightning in the ribbing. Like what if I did like a ribbing that kind of looked like lightning? I don't know. I've got these ideas. First ideas, we still got many months. And also, who else is participating in the Knit 3 Words Challenge? Zsofía, Fools for Fiber. Are you gonna participate in this challenge? So the words are solid, dyed in the solid. Dyed in the wool was another choice, but that didn't win. Solid dye, fawn, and lightning. So I'm gonna make some lightning thighs. I don't know. We'll see. First idea. It's the first idea, but I think it's a good one. I want them. I want them. Okay. Also say hi. Okay, and also, is still here. Also, I want to talk about a new thing I'm going to be taking part in, which is the Spring Intentions WrapKAL, organized by the lovely cat of Heather and Hops. And I made my purchase from Whistlebear because they are offering the wool and a project bag and the pattern all included, of really beautiful yarn in beautiful colors, and I have totally left my comfort zone in choosing the colors, and I'm a little bit nervous / excited to see the colors in person. I ordered them one Saturday afternoon and I was just like, click, go, ah! But I really wanted to take part in this knit along because there's a Discord group and I think it's going to be really fun. So it's not a mystery knit along, but it is a knit along where every week we're going to be getting new parts of the pattern, and there's going to be writings or meditations or different things included in each of the weeks. And it starts on March 20th. So I'm really excited, and hopefully next time I can show you the yarn that I've chosen. I was thinking about getting it all in the natural color and naturally dyeing it, but I only got one in white in natural so that I can dye it myself. I should have gotten more. I made the purchase and then I was like, ooh, am I really gonna like all these bright crazy colors? But I wanted to get colors that I can't easily get in natural dye, but honestly you really can get all of them in natural dye. So I'm excited about that. That's starting on March 20th. If anyone else wants to join in, it's going to be really fun. And yeah. Okay, I hope that you had fun. I think I might add some bloopers at the end of this so that you can see all of the mess ups that my little Oso friend helped me have. But yeah, I hope that you had fun. Enjoy your crafting and creating, and talk to you soon. Okay, so today I wanted to speak about the beautiful little sweet violet. So violet, or viola, Viola odorata, is part of the genus of the Violaceae family. So pansies are actually related to these little sweet violets. And pansies are actually edible as well, as long as they're not covered in pesticides or any other thing like that, so be careful. I do want to say that African violets are not related botanically, and so anything I speak about medicinal properties or edibility does not pertain to African violets. But yes, the sweet little violets, the small, wild little flowered friends, they are coming up now all over the south of Spain, and they are beautiful. They have their little heart-shaped leaves, which I think are really special because violet is known to be like heart medicine, very loving, and yes, they have their 5-petal flowers. And a beautiful scent, which I actually read is like an elusive scent. So apparently, as humans, we can smell the violet in the beginning, but then there are like ketones or some volatile oils that actually desensitize the receptors temporarily in our nose. So it is an ephemeral beauty and an ephemeral scent. But then obviously the nose recovers and then you can continue smelling them. But I love little violets, and if you've ever tried them, for me they kind of taste like sweet walnuts. I don't know what it is, but there's something that reminds me of walnuts when I try 1 or 2 flowers. I think that they're so pretty. And actually here in Spain they make these violet-shaped flower candies, which taste like violets but sugary, And apparently, like, the French would make like violet syrup. It's got lots of antioxidants. It's a beautiful little thing. My mom told me that back in the day in the States you could get violet flavored candies, but I don't know if you can anymore. I'm very happy because right in the shop in front of my house we have those candies. So if anyone wants to try them, let me know and I will try to send them out to you so that you can try the violet candies. But just go find a backyard somewhere that hasn't been mowed, and I'm sure that there will be some violets there and you can try them for yourself. There's actually a line in something that was written by Shakespeare which talks about the violets, which says, "I know a bank where the wild thyme blows, where oxlips and the nodding violet grows, quite over-canopied with luscious woodbine, with sweet musk roses, and with eglantine." Yes, with eglantine. I don't know what that is, but I did look up woodbine, and I realized that woodbine is another word for honeysuckle. So, yes, violet likes to grow in like moist, shady areas, and it's such like a soothing plant. It's a symbol for love and fertility. It is gentle and yet powerful. It has lots of mucilaginous properties, which is good for all of the mucous membranes of our body, like our digestive system or our respiratory system. They can be flowers. You can find blue flowers, purple flowers, white flowers, yellow flowers, and they're really high in minerals and vitamins, especially vitamin A and C. They are really wonderful for the springtime, you know, for having like a nice, healthy, energetic spring. They're good for your immune system. It's a soothing and cooling plant. It can reduce fever, inflammation, if you have a sore throat or cough. It's also been used by herbalists to shrink tumors, both externally and internally. Use. So you can make a violet leaf oil, which I've heard, like castor oil packs with violet leaves, is wonderful if you have any kind of like fibroids or something in the ovaries, or some kind of cyst in that way. Also, it's used for making oils for the breasts, for if there's any lumps or mastitis or fibrocystic breasts to use. And you can also take it in a tincture form. You can make violet tincture. And my favorite way to work with violet is to make a violet honey. So I collect some of the flowers. I found patches that are just like overflowing with violets. So I've collected some of the flowers, and then you pour honey over it and let the honey extract all the goodness. And when you're going to make a cup of tea, you can just take a spoonful of that with flowers included and add that. And it's so delicious. So yeah, I hope that you can find some violets where you live. Again, perfect ally for the springtime, as it helps restore optimal functioning by aiding in metabolic processes and eliminating waste in the blood, stimulating the lymphatic glands, and over time it's really good for your skin, like to treat eczema or psoriasis. And yes, I highly recommend the little violet. And okay, so go find some violets. Veo como hacer speckles, muy bonita. That was also. Vaya oso, me acaba de tirar la cámara. Yo intentando hacer un podcast tranquilo aquí. Yes, and now Oso's gonna dig a hole. Oso, ahí. Yes, so here we go. Today I'm going to, let's see if he'll chill out a little bit. Venga. No. Ahí, yeah. Well, Oso has just splattered dirt, kicked dirt all over me and my knitting. So there goes that for having a chill podcast. Okay.